When a woman begins to lose interest, she rarely makes a grand announcement or sits you down for a conversation about her fading feelings. Instead, the shift happens quietly, beneath the surface, in the small, almost imperceptible changes in how she engages with you. At first, you might dismiss them. Everyone has off days. After all, but over time, the patterns become undeniable. Her energy is different. The ease that once defined your conversations is replaced by a strange stiffness, as if she's mentally filtering her words before she speaks. The warmth in her tone, the way she used to light up when you walked into the room, starts to fade. It's not that she's gone cold overnight. It's more like a slow leak, a gradual withdrawal of the emotional investment she once had in you. The first major sign is a shift in her availability. In the beginning, she made time for you, effortlessly quick replies, cleared schedules, genuine excitement to see you. But when another man starts occupying her thoughts, her priorities subtly rearrange. She's suddenly busier, harder to pin down. Her texts take longer to get a response, and when they do, they're shorter, lacking the enthusiasm they once had. She might still see you, but the urgency is gone. Plans feel vague, half-hearted, like she's going through the motions rather than truly wanting to be there. She'll blame work, stress, or needing me time. And because those explanations sound reasonable, you might accept them at face value. But the truth is, when a woman is truly invested, she doesn't pull away without reason, and often that reason is someone else capturing her attention. Another telltale sign is the way she shares, or rather, stop sharing details about her life. A woman who's emotionally connected will bring you into her world naturally, telling you about her day, her thoughts, even the small mundane things. But when she's mentally checking out, those updates dry up. She becomes vague, giving surface-level answers when you ask how she's doing. She might mention plans in a way that feels oddly nonspecific, not lying, but not offering the full picture either. This vagueness is a defense mechanism, a way to keep you at arm's length while she explores her connection with someone else. The danger here is how easy it is to rationalize these changes. Most men dismiss them as temporary, telling themselves, she's just going through a phase. But the reality is, once a woman's attention starts drifting, it rarely drifts back on its own. The key is to recognize these shifts early, not to panic or confront her, but to observe, assess, and decide whether you're willing to stay in a relationship where you're no longer the priority. Because once her focus is elsewhere, no amount of chasing or pleading will bring it back. The only move that works is stepping back yourself, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. The slow fade of emotional detachment is one of the most painful experiences in relationships, because it happens so gradually you barely notice at first. She's still there physically, texting you back, showing up for dates, even sleeping beside you, but something fundamental has changed. The spark in her eyes when she looks at you dims. Her laughter at your jokes feels polite rather than genuine. Conversations that used to flow effortlessly now hit awkward pauses where you both grasp for something to say. It's as if she's going through the motions, maintaining just enough connection to keep you from suspecting anything while her heart quietly checks out. You'll notice subtle but telling shifts in her body language. Where she once instinctively reached for your hand or leaned into your touch, now she keeps a careful distance. Her hugs feel brief and obligatory rather than warm and lingering. Eye contact becomes fleeting, as if holding your gaze too long might reveal thoughts she doesn't want to share. Even her voice changes, less animated when speaking to you, more guarded in tone. These aren't conscious decisions on her part, but unconscious manifestations of where her emotional energy is really going. Her body knows what her mind hasn't yet admitted. She's already starting to let go. What makes this stage particularly confusing is that she often rationalizes her own behavior. She might tell herself she's just stressed or going through a personal phase. She may even believe it temporarily. This self-deception allows her to avoid confronting the uncomfortable truth that she's emotionally investing in someone else while still technically being with you. You'll pick up on new secrecy, her phone angled away from your view, sudden protectiveness of her alone time, vague explanations about her whereabouts. When you ask what's wrong, she insists nothing with a forced smile, because acknowledging the truth would mean facing the reality that she's slowly detaching from the relationship. Men often respond to this emotional withdrawal in exactly the wrong way. Sensing the distance, they double down on affection and attention, texting more frequently, planning elaborate dates, offering constant reassurance. But this desperate energy only accelerates her retreat. Where she once saw strength in you, she now sees neediness. Your attempts to close the gap highlight the very imbalance you're trying to fix. She's pulling away while you're chasing harder. The paradox is that the more you try to prove your worth, the less valuable you become in her eyes during this stage. Emotional detachment can't be fixed by one-sided effort. It either requires mutual reinvestment or it becomes the beginning of the end. The moment you notice her reinventing her appearance in ways that don't align with your preferences, pay attention. She's likely dressing for someone else's gaze. This shift often starts small. A new shade of lipstick you've never seen before. An unfamiliar perfume, suddenly hitting the gym with newfound dedication. At first, you might brush it off as self-improvement, but when these changes become consistent, especially before outings where you're not present, the pattern becomes undeniable. She's not just experimenting with her look, subconsciously or consciously aligning herself with another man's tastes. The wardrobe upgrades, the extra time spent on hair and makeup, the sudden fitness kick. These aren't coincidences. They're signals that she's preparing herself to be seen through someone else's eyes. Watch how she reacts when you compliment these changes. If she seems indifferent to your approval or awkwardly dismisses your praise, it's because your validation isn't what she's seeking anymore. There's a palpable difference in her energy when she's dressed up for you versus when she's dressed up for the possibility of someone else's attention. You'll notice she puts in minimal effort for your dates, but transforms into her best self. For girls' nights or work events, this selective effort speaks volumes about where her desire to impress is truly directed. The most telling sign? These appearance changes often coincide with her being more protective of her phone or social media activity, the digital breadcrumbs leading to whoever's opinion she now values more than yours. Men often make the critical mistake of trying to match this energy by suddenly upgrading their own appearance. They hit the gym harder, buy new clothes, or change their style in hopes of winning back her attention. But this reactive approach rarely works because it stems from insecurity rather than authentic self-improvement. She can sense the desperation behind these changes, which only reinforces her dwindling attraction. The harder you try to compete, the more you confirm that you're the one chasing, while the other man remains the unattainable prize in her mind. True confidence lies not in mimicking her changes, but in calmly observing them, while refusing to alter yourself for someone who's already emotionally checked out. Her transformation may be meant for someone else, but your steady self-assurance will be what lingers in her memory when the fantasy fades. The moment you recognize her emotional withdrawal, the most powerful response isn't confrontation or pleading its strategic silence. When she pulls away, your instinct will scream to chase harder, to demand answers, to prove your worth through grand gestures. Resist it. The temporary relief of expressing your pain will only cement her perception of you as needy and emotionally dependent. Instead, mirror her energy with calm detachment. If she takes hours to reply, take just as long. If she cancels plans, don't reschedule, let the invitation hang in the air unanswered. This isn't petty gamesmanship. It's demonstrating that your attention, once freely given, must now be earned. Women who emotionally detach often expect you to cling tighter. It validates their desirability while allowing them to slowly replace you. By refusing to play this role, you disrupt the entire dynamic. Suddenly, she's confronted with the reality that her safety net is gone. You'll notice one of two reactions. Either she intensify her distance, confirming she was already gone, or she'll come rushing back with sudden warmth and affection. Beware the latter. This hoovering isn't genuine reconciliation, but panic at losing your emotional labor. She may love bomb you with attention just long enough to regain her footing before pulling away again. Stay firm. The true test comes when you stop reacting altogether, Don't announce your departure or make dramatic speeches. Simply reallocate your energy elsewhere. Become slightly mysterious, less available, more focused on your own growth. This forces her to wonder about you rather than take you for granted. If there's any genuine love left, this space will make her confront what she's losing. If not, your dignified exit preserves your self-respect. Either way, you win. The key is absolute consistency. Any lapse into emotional pleading resets the power balance in her favor. Walking away isn't about punishing her, it's about honoring yourself. Weak men tolerate crumbs of attention because they fear being alone. Strong men recognize when the relationship has already ended in her heart, even if her lips haven't formed the words. Your silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. It tells her you're capable of moving on without closure, without begging, without looking back. And that unshakable self-possession is what haunts women most when they realize too late what they've discarded. The aftermath of your departure hits her in waves she never anticipated. At first, she'll feel relief. No more guilt over her fading feelings. No need to pretend. She'll tell herself she made the right choice, especially if she's already emotionally involved with someone else. This is the euphoric honeymoon phase of her new connection, where everything feels exciting and effortless. But as weeks turn into months, reality begins to erode the fantasy. The new man's flaws surface. The same ones she once overlooked in you now irritate her. She starts noticing his inconsistencies, the way he doesn't prioritize her the way you did. The thrill of novelty fades, replaced by the mundane reality that no relationship stays in that intoxicating, early stage forever. Meanwhile, your absence leaves a quiet but growing void. She'll catch glimpses of your life through mutual friends or social media, the desperate, heartbroken version she expected, but a man thriving, evolving, moving forward without her. This unsettles her. Women are conditioned to believe men will wait indefinitely, so when you don't, it disrupts her entire narrative. She may reach out with casual messages, "How have you been?" or nostalgic references to inside jokes, testing the waters. These aren't genuine attempts at reconciliation. They're bids to soothe her own guilt and curiosity. Respond with polite detachment, giving nothing away. Your indifference is the mirror forcing her to confront what she lost. The cruel irony. The more you genuinely move on, the more she's haunted by your memory. Comparisons creep in. The new man's shortcomings highlight your strengths, your reliability. The way you truly knew her, the depth of what you built together. But here's the critical truth. By the time she realizes this, it's too late. Your growth during this period has made you incompatible with the person she became when she left. The man she misses no longer exists, so you've outgrown that version of yourself, just as you've outgrown her. This final stage isn't about reconciliation, it's about closure. She must live with the consequences of her choices, just as you've learned to thrive beyond hers. The ultimate power lies not in making her regret, but in reaching a place where her regret no longer matters to you. That's when you know you've truly won not her heart, but your freedom.